work never stops. Hi guys, Vechs here, and welcome back to Vechs's Test World. You may notice things look a little different than they did last time, and that's because I've started a new test world. My previous one was crashing on me, and hey, let's be honest, it was getting really cluttered. This is a brand new world. I've had the foresight this time to make it flat sandstone using the redstone ready preset, and I will copy and paste in these pre-made beacon areas as needed. The center one will always have iron, and then the 8 ones surrounding it are just gold, and the obsidian marks off the distance that the beacon effect presides over. Overall, I think it looks really clean and sleek, and I'm going to like having just flat sandstone as far as the eye can see, however far I go away from here. My previous test world was naturally spawn terrain, so I would frequently have to pop it open in MC Edit and flatten things out. Alright, so without further ado, without more meta discussion about the series as a whole, this episode I want to catch you guys up on my proximity detectors. I have a new model I want to show off, but since it's been so long, I figured why not go over some of my older designs first, and then I'll show you guys the new thing. Let's start with this one and tear it open and see what's inside. What is inside here? Well, this design was one that automatically would turn itself off after the minecarts got full. Inside here are cave spider spawners, and when the player got close, the cave spiders would spawn, activate one of these wooden pressure plates, and then get stuck inside these minecarts, which would take them off the pressure plates. Now eventually, once these minecarts got full, there would be no more activity on these pressure plates. And the spiders would also stop spawning because there was a hard limit to how many could be in an area. And so basically this would periodically send pulses of redstone signal out of the detector. And it was very useful because it would turn itself off. So, for example, I could wire this up to a dispenser trap that shot out potions or arrows at the player. And I think I used this in Inferno Mines, I think. And I think this design also makes an appearance in Waking Up. Maybe, I think. And so the dispenser shoots off, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8 times, and then it stops. Now, when the player leaves the area, the monsters despawn out of the minecarts, and when they re-enter the area, the sensor is reset and ready to fire another 8 times at the player. So overall, I think I'm pretty happy with this design, and if they try to tunnel into it to disable it, well, hey, there's a bunch of cave spider spawners here waiting on them. So I think that's pretty cool. This design is the water-based one, and that eliminates what the water does is it stops monsters from spawning in here. So the creepers spawn, they fall down into the water, hit the plate, and then they start trying to swim up. And they should not activate the plate anymore. I think this design also results in them, they eventually stop spawning and no longer activate any of the... where is the water here? The water is right here. Yeah, and the water is actually held up by the... I believe the water is held up here by the pressure plates. And so that sends out the signal there. The limitation with these is that you must have light around here. Usually these are mounted inside the wall where it's not really an issue, but they will spawn their monsters outside of the sensor. Again, if the player is tunneling in to try to disable the sensor, the mechanism itself with the spawners acts as an active defense to spawn monsters to attack the player. Alright, now this one, what could this one be? Well, let's tear it open and look inside. This one is... This one is super simple. This one probably could not be any simpler. It is just cave spiders over wooden pressure plates that sends out a signal. This one does not give minecarts to the player, in case you didn't want to give them, minecarts. And this one only fires maybe once or twice. But the thing is that the cave spiders in here, they will randomly move around and keep activating the plates. So this one will keep shooting sporadically, unlike the other one over there. So that's the main difference. And then we've got this one, which sends out a pulse. This one is more complicated because it has more redstone torches. I think there's plenty of videos out there explaining redstone, so I'll skip over that monstrosity right there. But basically, you step on this, and it starts a clock. And so this reliably sends out a signal. And all this is filled in, but it's all, I tore this all away to show off the mechanism. I've shown this off before in a video. But this is, you get close to it, and it basically starts a pulsing signal that doesn't stop. Now, it will stop only if a spider steps on this again. And he's got to do it the right way, because you can't, let me see, there it goes. There, okay, it stopped. So as the spider walks around in here, it can randomly turn itself on and off, which is great for ambushing the player when they're not expecting it and creating a randomized activation. Great for linking up with traps and dispensers. So you're probably noticing a lot of these are good for activating either bombs or firing traps, firing cannons, maybe automatic loading cannons. I do have a few designs of those. Or firing dispenser and arrow traps. All right. So the new proximity sensor that joins my family of existing designs is a general purpose one that works on peaceful and is more readily useful as a utility spawner as opposed to one that can activate traps, although you can certainly, there's nothing stopping me from activating traps with it. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Should be active now. It works on peaceful, and I'm on peaceful right now. There he is, and there he goes. Pretty cool. I think it's pretty obvious what this is. It's an edited spawner. I believe the range on this is something like 50 blocks right now, but I can easily change the range of the spawner to the exact range I need, and it sends out a pulse in both ways, and this is stable so that it won't accept redstone signal back into it. And it's very compact, and it even has a little pumpkin in there to provide light to prevent monsters from spawning. And I'm very happy with it. There's one modification I could have done, and I actively chose not to do it. There's something I could have done, but I chose not to. Okay? Look at how this thing's working, and try to figure out how I could have done the same thing but differently to alter what the player could potentially do with it. I'm not going to tell you, because that's your homework assignment. You get homework for this Vechs test world. Tell me in the comments, if you can figure it out, what could you do differently here that would keep this thing operating the same, but switch up what the player could potentially get out of it. Because you know, I'm all about doing things that let the player commandeer it, for example. I like being able to disable spawners that were part of a trap or mechanism of some kind, and then make a grinder out of them, something like that, and bend it to my own needs. And I think that's it's a kind of a fun thing that I try to actively promote in my maps, is that you can repurpose something that was originally designed to hurt you and get some sort of benefit out of it. So try and figure out how this could be modified and what it would do and what the player could do with it, and that's your homework assignment. Alright, moving along, we have this this small, beautiful modular design that I can just grab with MCEdit and import, and it only takes direction into it. It won't send signal. So that's important for when I'm using modular designs and I just want to drop them in and not risk redstone signals going places where I didn't intend them to go. So this, what does this do? Let's make a little bridge here to link it up, and we're going to need a little bit of redstone dust. There we go. So we make ourselves a nice little bridge here to connect the redstone signal, and what do you suppose these summon blocks are going to do? Did I just say summon blocks? I gave it away! Ah, I meant to say command blocks. I spoiled it. Well, that's okay. Because, well, yeah, they summon things, and they summon fun things for the player. Uh-oh. So with these command blocks, I can make monster summoning traps. Instead of using spawners, I can have more tight control over the summon location and the general events that surround it, because I can do a lot more things with the command blocks than I can with monster spawners. With the command blocks, I can modify the weather, I can modify the buffs on the player, I can change so many things. I can modify the time, set the time of day, make it dark, make it a thunderstorm, give you slowness, buff your health, make you faster. A normal monster spawner can summon custom monsters, but a command block system like this, it can summon custom monsters and do all kinds of other crazy stuff. So suddenly I have a lot more options now. So these guys are, what are these? Summoned mini booms. Let's go test them out. Ow! 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 No, don't blow me up! Oh! Ugh! Alright. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a Vechs test world properly if I didn't blow myself up or get blown up by something. Alright, anyway. So let's turn that off. Hey, mini boom. Oh, you're a fast little guy. So the command blocks, they can use the summon command, and in this case, it's, well, alright, one downside is that this is pretty meh, complicated, and yeah, meh, yeah, blah. Alright, so that's a little complicated, but that's okay. If I can get more fine control over what's going on, I think that's worth it. And hopefully I can save some of these pre-made modules here with the commands already written, and that way once I have a few of them that I like using, I can just get them in here and import them with MCEdit and, you know, not have to do so much typing. So that's about it for today. I showed you everything I wanted to show you. Here are some of my old proximity sensor designs. Here is the new one that I really like. And then here is a command block module. And it's got 6 slots in it. And I can come in and enter 6 commands to do stuff. And I have an idea. For a Vechian death turret that uses this system. And I'll show you guys that next test world. But first, I had to show you guys the mechanics behind it so you'd know what was going on. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. And until then, ow, 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 ow. No, don't blow me up. Oh!